On Global TV News Express, Dele Farotimi regains freedom after meeting bail conditions. Court remands Principal Oriyomi Hamzat and Queen Naomi over Ibadan stampede. In business, firm kicks against federal government's approval of Shell and Renaissance 2.4 billion naira deal. On the foreign scene, American Airlines orders ground stop of all U.S. flights. And in sport, Villa boss Unai Emery set for very difficult clash with Newcastle. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Niconsat. Human rights advocate Dele Farotimi has been released from the correctional center in Ekiti State after meeting his bail conditions. Politician and activist Omoyele Sowore made the disclosure in a post on X, saying the embattled activist lawyer was no longer at the prison yards in Ekiti State. Farotimi was arrested earlier in the month for allegedly defaming Afe Babalola, a senior advocate of Nigeria and founder of the Afe Babalola University at Ekiti. Addressing media personnel after his release, Farotimi said he had never had any cause to lie against anyone in his life, adding that whatever he had said about someone or an institution is true. Meanwhile, the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee LPDC has rejected a request by Chief Afe Babalola SAN's law firm Emmanuel Chambers to revoke the law practicing license of lawyer and author Dele Farotimi over allegations of criminal defamation and professional misconduct. Farotimi was brought before the LPDC based on a petition authored by Ola Faro, a lawyer in Emmanuel Chambers, which alleged that Farotimi in his book, Nigeria and Criminal Justice System, made defamatory statements against the Supreme Court and the legal profession. However, in its report, the LPDC determined that the alleged offenses occurred in Farotimi's capacity as an author, not during his practice as a legal professional, and therefore concluded that it lacked jurisdiction to address complaints about publications and advise aggrieved parties to seek redress in regular courts. President Bola Tinubu has called on Nigerians to embrace love, peace and unity during the festive season, urging citizens to remain hopeful about the nation's future. President Tinubu, in his Christmas message, described Christmas as a season of divine prophecy fulfilled, symbolizing the triumph of light over darkness and the enduring strength of humanity's shared faith. He also expressed deep sorrow over recent tragic incidents in Ibadan, Okija, and Abuja, which claimed innocent lives, extending his sympathies to families who have endured pain and loss this year due to floods, fires, or accidents. The president called on Nigerians to find comfort in faith and support of loved ones. The First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has urged Nigerians to remain hopeful, believing that better days are ahead. The First Lady stated this as she extended her Christmas and New Year greetings to the nation. She reflected on the progress made under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, assuring citizens that the government's efforts to bring about positive change are already yielding results. She also emphasized the importance of unity, love, and embracing the country's rich diversity, underscoring these values as essential for fostering national growth and harmony. Also, the Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) has urged Nigerians not to lose hope in the country, though confronted with harsh realities of corruption, inequality, and other challenges, the CAN chairman in Ondo State, Reverend Father Aslam Olugunwa, stated this in his 2024 Christmas message in Akure. He employed Christians, Muslims, and adherents of other faiths to have trust in the Lord as they trod the path of truth, and encouraged all to endure the challenges and hardship that came their way, noting that with prayers they would overcome the world. A Chief Magistrate Court in Ibadan has ordered the remand of 3 key figures in connection with last week's tragic stampede at Bashum Islamic High School. The individuals include Abdullahi Fasai, the school's principal, Oruyomi Hamzat, the proprietor of the Agidigbo FM, and Naomi Selikunola, the estranged wife of Oba Eniton Adeyeye Ogunwusi, the Oni of Ile-Ife. The court ruling, presided over by Chief Magistrate Olabisi Ogunkomi, followed their arraignment by the Oyo State Police Command. The defendants face 4-count charges related to the incident as outlined by the police prosecutor, who cited a violation of Section 324 of the Criminal Code Cap 38, Volume 2, Laws of Oyo State 2000. After hearing the charges, Chief Magistrate Ogunkomi ordered that the trio be held at the Agodi Correctional Center while awaiting further guidance from the state prosecutor. Suspected political talks reportedly took over the Oro-Edo Local Government Area Secretariat in Edo State, preventing the chairman Tom Obaseki from gaining access to his office. Armed with weapons, the hoodlums took up strategic positions at the Secretariat, chanting war songs. The development forced the embattled council boss, who had resumed work for the day, to retreat. Obaseki had resumed for the day following the Edo State High Court ruling on Friday, which nullified his suspension alongside 17 other council chairmen. And moving to Imo State, the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has presented the 2025 appropriation bill of 755 billion naira to the State House of Assembly. Tagged budget of expanded economic opportunities, Uzodinma says the proposed budget aligns with his administration's 3R mantra of rehabilitation, reconstruction, and recovery. Imo State correspondent Amarachi Ibe has the rest of the story.
Making the presentation, Governor Hope Uzodinma outlined its breakdown to include a capital expenditure of 643 billion naira, demonstrating a strong focus on development projects and a recurrent expenditure of 112 billion naira. The governor told lawmakers that the budget is tailored towards achieving sustainable development and delivering impactful services to the people of Imo State.
In the last 5 years, my administration has worked relentlessly to ensure that the living conditions of our people have continued to improve.
Governor Hope Uzodinma assured the Assembly that strategic measures has been instituted to ensure effective execution of key projects and proper coordination of development initiatives.
I was mindful of the presumption that since I would not be seeking or asking for re-election again, the pace of development might slow down. But mine is different. I will continue to diligently fulfill my duties until my last day in office.
Reflecting his administration vision for growth, with priority given to the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, which saw the budget allocation, showcasing government's commitment to infrastructural development.
We have continued with our road revolution unabated. Many more roads are primed to be commissioned soon. I have equally directed that henceforth all officers involved in the across-the-board promotions should pay their full salaries as promoted with this financial effect.
Speaker of Imo State House of Assembly Chike Olemgbe commended the governor's achievements and pledged the House commitment to giving the appropriation bill speedy consideration.
Your Excellency, I want to specially thank you for being the most fiscal responsible governor Imo State has ever had. It is on record that your administration was the first to engage Imo State in fiscal transparency program of World Bank State Fiscal Transparency and Accountability System.
The 2025 budget sets the stage for driving economic growth and development, raising residents' optimism that the proposal will lead to tangible improvements in their living conditions. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
The Association of Local Government of Nigeria says it has resolved to strengthen its collaboration with all tiers of government and development partners to deliver the dividends of democracy and tackle challenges affecting governance and Nigerians at the grassroots levels. Global Television correspondent tells us more. Algon National President Engineer Bello Lawal at the 51st National Executive Council meeting in Katsina State spoke on the burden and mandate of the local government administrators in delivering good governance.
It is my honor and privilege to host our distinguished members, that is the NEC members of this great association, and indeed our leaders, the BOT chairman and other BOT members, to our dear state for this very important national assignment of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria and Ghana. I want to take this opportunity to thank you very, very well for really.
On his part, the National Publicity Secretary of Algon, Hamisu Mohammed, read out the communique of the meeting, commending the government and judiciary for ensuring the local government autonomy.
The judiciary was also commended for its role in establishing a viable local government system. Furthermore, the NEC appreciates the effort of state governors and the Nigerian Governors Forum, NGF, in conducting elections across local government areas with over 30 states now having democratically elected chairmen.
Other members and stakeholders expressed confidence of a better future for Nigerians at the local government levels. Anthony Momodu reporting for Global Television News. Elsewhere in the news, the Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, has inspected the ongoing repair work at the failed sections of the Owerri-Port Harcourt Road between Omoapu and Omoagwo in Imo State. This was contained in a statement issued in Port Harcourt by the NDDC Director of Corporate Affairs, Seledi Thompson Wakama. Ogbuku stated that the road's deplorable state necessitated the emergency measures taken by the NDDC to restore it and make it immediately motorable. You're watching News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. When News Express returns, Qatar says sanctions on Syria must be lifted quickly. Details of these, as well as business and sports stories, coming right after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from the break. In business, indigenous gas firm Global Gas and Refining Limited has kicked against last week's ministerial approval of the $2.4 billion asset divestment deal between Shell and Resonance Africa Energy Company Limited. The firm, which is in dispute with Shell over the state of a gas supply deal signed in 2002, described the approval of the Shell and Resonance deal as unfortunate. Chairman of the firm, Kenneth Yelowe, speaking to newsmen in Abuja, said that the company was in court with Shell over the issue. He condemned the decision by Shell to go ahead with the deal while ignoring existing issues raised by smaller companies and host communities. Nigeria's net foreign exchange inflows rose by 70.5% year-on-year to $42.06 billion in the first 9 months of 2024 from $24.66 billion in the corresponding period of 2023. Details in the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Quarterly Economic Statistics Report for the review period showed that forex inflow to the economy rose year-on-year by 41% to $70.62 billion in 9 months of 2024 from $50.04 billion in 9 months of 2023. Conversely, forex outflows from the economy rose by 12.3% year-on-year to $28.55 billion in 9 months of 2024 from $25.42 billion from 25.42 billion naira in 9 months of 2023. Further details in the data showed that inflows through autonomous sources rose by 0.06% year-on-year to $31.15 billion in 9 months of 2024 from $31.13 billion in 9 months of 2023, while the outflow through autonomous sources rose sharply by 215% year-on-year to $6.52 billion in 9 months of 2024 from $2.07 billion in 9 months of 2023. The Central Bank of Nigeria and the Nigerian Communications Commission has issued a final directive to deposit money banks and mobile network operators to resolve the protracted 250 billion naira unstructured supplementary service data debt dispute. The directive contained in a joint circular signed by the Acting Director of Payment System Management at the CBN, Oladimeji Taiwo, and the Head of Legal and Regulatory Services at the NCC, Chizwa White, outlined a structured payment plan for clearing the debt and introduced the new operational guidelines for USSD services. Under the terms of the directive, 60% of all debts incurred before the implementation of the application programming interfaces in February 2022 must be paid as full and final settlement. For debts arising after February 2022, the CBN and NCC mandated that banks pay 85% of all outstanding invoices by December 31st, 2024, and ensure that 85% of the future invoices are settled within 1 month of issuance. And moving to the foreign scene, American Airlines, the world's largest carrier, has suspended all flights within the United States due to a technical issue. The officials of the Federal Aviation Administration made the announcement in a statement at the height of Christmas holiday travel. The statement said the American airline is reporting a technical issue and has requested a nationwide ground stop. Meanwhile, the carrier posted on social media that it is experiencing a technical issue with all American Airlines flights. Qatar has called for the quick removal of sanctions on Syria for the ousting of President Bashar al-Assad by Islamic-led rebels. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Majid al-Nasari told regular briefing that Qatar calls for intensified efforts to expedite the lifting of international sanctions on Syria. Qatar's call came a day after a high-level delegation visited Damascus. The Qatari embassy there reopened on Sunday, ending a 13-year rift between the two countries. I'm going to South America. Venezuelan authorities have set free another 223 prisoners who were arrested during a post-election protest. The prosecutor's office made the announcement, bringing the total number of protesters released to 956. More than 2,400 people were arrested and at least 28 killed after widespread demonstrations. President Maduro's declaration of victory in July's election, which the opposition said it had won. And running into the exciting world of sport, Aston Villa manager Unai Emery expects his informed side to face a very difficult challenge away to Newcastle on Boxing Day. Villa beat Premier League champions Manchester City for a fourth win from 5 games in all competitions, but 6th-placed Villa will kick off at St James's Park against a Newcastle team on a fine run of their own. The Magpies go into Thursday's game following successive 4-0 league wins over Leicester and Ipswich, with Newcastle having also done the double over Villa last season. And taking it to Old Trafford, Manchester United are reportedly tackling an infestation of mice at Old Trafford. News reports say the issue had seen the club's food hygiene rating drop to 2 stars out of a possible 5. United are currently considering whether to redevelop Old Trafford or build a brand new stadium. The Federal Capital Territory Administration is to construct 2 multi-sport centers in Abuja. Acting Executive Secretary, Federal Capital Territory Development Authority, Richard Dauda, disclosed this while briefing newsmen after the FCT Executive Council meeting. Though Dauda did not disclose the location of the centers, he said that the sites would be strategic, explaining that the 2 sports centers would have several facilities: football pitches, lawn tennis, table tennis, indoor sports facilities, and other necessary facilities. To end News Express on Global Television, here is a recap of our top stories. Human rights advocate Dele Farotimi has been released from the correctional center in Ekiti State after meeting his bail conditions. A chief magistrate court in Ibadan has ordered the remand of 3 key figures in connection with last week's tragic stampede at the Bashroom Islamic High School. In business, indigenous gas firm Global Gas and Refining Limited has kicked against last week's ministerial approval of the $2.4 billion asset divestment deal between Shell and Renaissance African Energy Company Limited. While on the foreign scene, American Airlines, the world's largest carrier, has suspended all flights within the United States due to technical issue. And in sport, Aston Villa manager Unai Emery expects his informed side to face a very difficult challenge away to Newcastle on Boxing Day. That's all we have for you on Global Television News Express. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on StarTimes channel 276 and free to air on Nikonsat. So kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Anthony Momodu. Thanks for watching.